Can the Lake Show acquire Davis?
It'll be very, very difficult for them to do. I'm not going to say anything's impossible. I think Rich Paul, the agent for him, represents LeBron, represents JR, Tristan Thompson, various other people throughout the National Basketball Association, including John Wall, by the way. Anything's possible with him and what he could potentially pull off. I will say this, however. If I'm the Pelicans, I love these reports about Anthony Davis considering what? You locked in for this season. You locked in for next season. You don't have a player option until 2020, 2021. Anthony Davis is a generational player. No matter what you trade for, you ain't getting Anthony Davis. You ain't getting equitable value for Anthony Davis. You can't swap because Kevin Durant, these guys, you can't just trade them. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You need their approval in order to pull it off because all the stars either got these no trade clauses or they got that wink-wink deal where you ain't doing a damn thing without their approval. So be clear. Anthony Davis, there's nothing but a superstar, the likes of Anthony Davis, that would suffice for Anthony Davis. So to me, that makes it that much harder that they're going to be able to get rid of him. If he could opt out after this coming season, that would be different. But the fact that they got this season and next season before he has a player option, I'm of the mindset that it'll be far more difficult to move him than people imagine. I know they want to. Mm-hmm. I know that's why he's with Rich Paul and Clutch Sports, because you're talking about New York, L.A., or Boston. I don't want to hear nothing about Philly. No, it's New York, Boston, or L.A. from what I heard. But I'm just telling you, even though Philly would, by the way, Rich Paul represents, Ben Simmons too. Yep. So we got to pay attention to that. But what I'm saying is I don't believe that is the option. I think it's New York, Boston, or L.A., and I'm trying to figure out how they're going to do it.
The answer is yes, the Lakers have enough to get Anthony Davis. I believe we have to see how the season pans out. Mm-hmm. I mean, if Brandon Ingram, knock wood, had a catastrophic injury and Lonzo Ball doesn't develop at all, then obviously your assets aren't what you think they are. But if this trajectory holds true for Ingram, that's an all-star. It's an all-star player. He's also exceptionally young and has the potential to be an all-star two-way player. Mm-hmm. No, he starts hitting the three eventually, Ingram, and then what doesn't he do? Defend, pass the ball, can run the point at his height, can slash, get to the rim, the whole thing. Ingram is their crown jewel of all the draft picks, right? And Kuzma can really shoot the ball, and if Lonzo develops, but there's literally no price too high to pay for Anthony Davis if you're the Lakers, because Anthony Davis is already the main competition for Tim Duncan in terms of the greatest power forward who ever lived. His peak is already better than Karl Malone,
we agree there,
or Charles Barkley, or Dirk Nowitzki, or Kevin Garnett. And these are some of the greatest players who ever lived. But if you said, did any of those guys achieve the level of overall ability that Anthony Davis has already achieved? I would say no. Now, in terms of championship medal and everything, you saw Kevin Garnett had it, right? You see what Dirk Nowitzki could do at his best. But if you were just to say skill set, who would you want? Other than Tim Duncan, it's Anthony Davis. When you have an all-time player like that in his prime, the way I was talking about Khalil Mack, hey, the Raiders can't just trade him for whatever. Boy, what price is too high to pay? Even if they say we want Ingram and Kuzma.
Well, it's not a matter
and
of,
whoever.
But it's not a matter of the price. It's a matter of what New Orleans is willing to accept to give him away. Because you got to remember, their franchise is going to go in this direction. They lose Anthony Davis. Yeah. And so it's going to go in this direction in their mind because he's a generational talent. And so because you're going to lose somebody the magnitude of him, you're going to be looking for some significant compensation in return. Players, picks, all of that other stuff comes into equation. I don't know if the Lakers can pull that off. Well, I think Boston can.
Well, here's the thing.
But I don't know. Because you know what? If I'm New Orleans, I'm definitely requiring Jason Tatum.
And I don't think they're going to get Jason Tatum.
Jason
Tatum is also going to be the focal point of the offense.
I agree.
That makes my point.
In
other words, the Pelicans have to believe that they can win a championship with Anthony Davis this year or next, or else they should deal him because they will certainly lose him. Because even though New Orleans is a kind of attractive market in certain ways, a market like New Orleans never gets a guy to sign.
We're talking about this season.
This year, since they only have this year and next year his value goes down on the trade market. Right now is the most you're going to get for him because the team that acquires him has him for another year.
Not necessarily. If you even next year his value goes down if you're just talking about moving him, period.
Right.
But if you're talking about moving him to a place that he's interested in resigning,
that's right.
Then the value.
But the reason it goes down anyway is because there are fewer buyers now, period.
No.
Because of that. Because he'll be a free agent.
With
and that drives the price
saying with
down.
him there's fewer buyers, period, because he's not going to go anywhere else. He's making it very, very clear. He doesn't want to be in any place but those locations. And so as a result, that's problematic for any franchise that acquires him.
So now look at, so even take just those franchises.
Right.
What package will be put together that's better than a package centered on, say, Brandon Ingram? You have to look around, and because if no other team can put together a better pack or is willing to put together a better package than that, then that's the package that's going to do it.
Let's look at this. I got 6 names for you. Think about this. 6 names, and they're all on the same team.
Okay.
You got Kyrie, you got Gordon Hayward. You got Jaylen Brown, you got Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
You got Marcus Smart, you got Terry Rozier. Obviously, those last two don't compare to Anthony Davis, but what I'm trying to say to you is that the multitude of pieces and parts that they have, if you're Danny Ainge, what you really, really need to think about is, okay, I got 3 guys that I absolutely positively have to keep, whoever those 3 are, because I'm going to have to give up something mega for the services of Anthony Davis.
What do you think those
Are you ready?
are?
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? If I'm Danny Ainge, I wouldn't give up anybody. You know why? Because I'm going to the finals without him.
Right. So
I'm not giving up anybody.
Therefore, I agree with you. Therefore, the package likely offered by the Celtics is not what it might be. So take the Celtics, even though they have assets like Tatum. I don't think they'll give up Tatum.
I don't think so.
So take the Celtics kind of out as a buyer who's going to push the market up in terms of what you have to give up for Anthony Davis. Who else is there? What do the Knicks have to offer? They ain't giving you Porzingis.